I'm extremely excited about today's episode because I'm going to be sharing with you 5 things that you can do, 5 action steps that are very simple to execute, and these steps are going to help fill your cup. So I know you're going to be blessed. Hey lady, welcome back to your new favorite talk show for Christian women, Grown Lady Chat. With me, your host, Dr. Sharonda Simone. If you have not already done so, please be sure to drop in the comments. Ladies, I would love to know where you are watching from and how you came to find Grown Lady Chat. Our community is growing so rapidly, and I want to make sure that I give each and every one of you a proper welcome. Also, if you are not a part of the Grown Lady Chat email community, lady, you're missing out because we have lots of good conversations, uplifting conversations in the email community. And I also talk about lifestyle content there as well. So if you like that type of information and you want the email sent directly to you, then click the link in the description box, and it's very easy and absolutely free to join. Here on Grown Lady Chat, I like to do random giveaways. That's just one way that I show my appreciation for you being a part of the community. And the best way for you to enter these random giveaways is just to chat it up in the comments. Make sure that you're subscribed, of course, and follow on the socials. So the more engaged you are in Grown Lady Chat, then that's the more you're going to get out of the community, number one, but also that's just a way for me to enter you into these random giveaways. Now, if you are a giveaway winner, you could get a gift card. You could also get home decor items, makeup, skincare, beauty, personal development resources, or faith-based tools. Are you a woman who enjoys beautiful things? 34/5 Lifestyle has lovely, unique accessories for your everyday look and also for those special occasions. Click the link below to check out our latest accessory collection. Most every episode, I like to do a question of the day. That's a good way for us to begin a good conversation in the comment section. And I always pin the question of the day down below, and I share my response there as well. So for today's question of the day, I would like for you to let me know, in this very moment of your life, using whatever parameter you want to use, would you say that your cup is full? Is it half full? Is it a quarter full? Or would you consider it empty? Let me know in the comment section down below. As a success enthusiast and as someone who really enjoys personal development, I'm always looking for ways to enhance my life and just to grow as an individual. And from the comment section, I realize that there are many of you ladies who are like that as well. Now, one thing that I do struggle with because of my constant quest for better is sometimes I find that I struggle with making sure that I'm filling my own cup. Because when we have these big goals, or even if we just have small personal goals and we're chugging and plugging toward the finish line, it's really easy for us to feel depleted. And we're natural givers and nurturers, and that's really how God blessed us. And He allows us to be that for our families and for others. But we also have to make sure that we are filling into our own cups, because as I'm sure you know, you can't pour from an empty cup. And that's a statement that we can easily say. It makes a lot of sense to us. But ladies, how many of us are actually spending the time to replenish ourselves? And yes, as someone who enjoys the pampering and the skincare routines and the mud masks and soaking in the tub, there are other ways, ladies, that we can pour into ourselves so that we can show up for our families, so we can show up at our job, so we can show up for our spouses. So today, I really want to share with you just 5 things, all right? And I would encourage you to pick 1 or 2 to maybe focus on to get started. But eventually, I would encourage you to do all of these things in some way, shape, or form, because when we do fill our own cup, when we do replenish ourselves, we can do for others even more. And I want for us to continue the conversation in the comment section down below. And now it's time for Dr. Sharonda Simone's random but helpful information. Ladies, The other day, I was listening to an interview with Myron Golding, and he said something that really stood out to me, and I wanted to share it with you and get your feedback. And he said, essentially, that many people want to live outstanding lives, but those same people are afraid to stand out. It's food for thought. You're welcome. I am a natural extrovert. I am what most would call a chatterbox. I enjoy the company of others. I will even chat with myself at times and have a wonderful conversation. But even with my outgoing personality, I still need time to replenish, right? I still need time to recharge. And one of the first things that I would encourage you to do, whether you're an extrovert or not, when you're looking to fill your own cup, ladies, it's important to take time for yourself. Set aside a moment or two just for yourself. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Dr. Sharonda, right out the gate, you can't do that. You're too busy. You wear too many hats. You do too many things. Your time is already limited. I get it. I understand. And it's for that same reason why we must take time for ourselves. Now, that's not being selfish. That's being sensible. Okay. So you might be saying, I don't have the time. I can't do that. However, you find time to scroll on social media. Ooh, okay, don't shoot the messenger, just take the message. Even Jesus had to take some time. He woke up a little earlier than the rest of his disciples, and he spent time, quiet time, talking with God and communing with God. And he was able to refill his cup. Ladies, if Jesus did it, we definitely need to do it. And it's good in those quiet moments to read the word of God and to spend time with God. Absolutely. And we also need time to refill our cup with nobody else's input, okay? So it might mean that you put the phone down and you pick up a book. Maybe you do a puzzle. Maybe you do an adult coloring book. I've talked about this many times here on Grown Lady Chat. A good adult coloring book is so soothing and relaxing. Maybe you could even go to sleep. Sleep is good, and it can also help with your mental health and your physical health, all right? But you have to find some time, whether it's 15 or 20 minutes, whether you can do it 1 day a week or 3 days a week. You have to find some time, carve out that time. If it's important to you, you'll make it. You'll make that time. Again, it might mean putting the phone down. It might mean saying no to another event instead of saying yes all the time. Time is invaluable. That's one thing that we can't make more of. You can make more money. You can make more friends, but you can't make more time. When I know that I'm going to have maybe half an hour or 1 hour to myself on a Wednesday evening when I can really just do the things that make my heart happy, that, fill my cup, then it's easier for me to deal with the other stresses of Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because I know that at least I have 1 hour that is dedicated to Sharonda. Ladies, it might not be a full hour. Maybe it's only 15, 20 minutes, but you can look forward to that. And it really gives you a way to cope with the other stresses happening in life because you have something to look forward to, a reward to look forward to. I enjoy reading books, but I always don't have the time to sit down and physically read a book. But I think that there is so much benefit in doing that, just holding the actual book and flipping through the pages. There's something nostalgic about that. However, if you are busy like so many of us are, maybe you haven't read a book recently, whether it's a fictional book, whether it's purely for entertainment or for education. You haven't read recently, but reading is such a great way to pour into yourself. And I would recommend that you read a personal development book. After we get out of school and, you check all the boxes, you get your degree, it's almost as though we forget the importance of learning, right? But there is so much information out there, especially now in this digital age where we can have access to so much information at the touch of a button. Ladies, personal development is something that we should be focused on, especially as we age, because life is happening around us. I was having a conversation with a good friend today after church, and we were both saying how the year has passed so quickly. What I found is I'm able to slow down my mind when I'm able to read a book, whether I'm consuming it via Audible, right? So audio book, or even just holding the book in my hand. time slows down because I have to focus my mind on what I'm reading or what I'm hearing. So if you really want to pour into yourself and just feel as though you're being present in the moment, reading a good book is one exceptional way to do that. And I would say that reading a personal development book is also extremely helpful. I've talked before about the author Valerie Burton. I have found her personal development books outstanding. Again, I'd like to say that I can't speak to all of her bodies of work because I don't know everything she's done and I don't know her perspective on everything. But what I have read, what I've consumed has been extremely helpful to me. I will tag some of my favorite books from her down below if you're looking for a good personal development book for women, okay? Now, this next tip might come as a surprise, but once you do it, I want for you to drop in the comments and let me know just how much it's helped you, all right? So I would recommend that you declutter a small space. We all have that area, whether it's your car, whether it's your 9-to-5 office space, whether it's your closet at home, whether it's that junk drawer in the kitchen, all right? We all have that space that needs TLC, but we keep on ignoring it. And it's at the back of your mind. And every time you open that door, every time you pull that drawer, every time you step into that car, every time you see that space, it's like, ooh, you feel it. It's like a little dig, and you have to crawl out from that sad, stressed out feeling and push through your day. Ladies, let me tell you, if you want to pour into yourself, accomplish the task of decluttering that small space. Now, if you're like most of us, because women, we're very good as women about collecting data from multiple areas at one time. So you might sit down to, say, clean off the table. And as you're cleaning the table, you recognize that the floor needs to be swept or vacuumed. And then you also look over there and you see that, oh, now, this other sideboard over here needs to be dusted. And then you look up and you think, oh, there's a cobweb up there, I need to grab that. And before long, you have moved away from that one table that you're supposed to clean off, and you've started this project, started that project, and you've completed no projects. Yeah, look, we've all been there before. So what I suggest, when you find that you're being pulled in all these different areas, that depletes your cup because your focus is so fragmented. You cannot complete a thought, you cannot complete a task. And so your to-do list just keeps on going. Lady, I've been there. What I have done is I've begun to discipline myself by setting a timer. Whether you use your smartphone, your tablet, whatnot, you want to set a timer. You say, okay, for the next 15 minutes, I'm going to do one task. And you do this one task and you discipline yourself so that you don't get your attention pulled to the left or to the right. You stay focused on that one task for 15 minutes. And if you complete the task before the timer goes off, great. But if you don't, not a problem. You at least have been focused for 15 minutes, okay? I would recommend at least giving yourself enough time to complete the task so that you can have that good accomplished feeling of checking off something on your to-do list, all right? And I know our to-do lists seem to go on and on forever. That's just life. We won't be able to escape it. As long as you're a productive person who is about your business, you'll always have things to do, okay? It comes with the territory. However, that feeling of overwhelm and drain that happens because you never seem to complete a task, you can get rid of that and fill your cup up by specifically saying, for the next X number of minutes, I'm going to focus on one task. Just sit down and declutter that space, that one little junk drawer that is like the nemesis in the back of your mind. You complete that task and trust me, you will have an immediate gratification, and that's going to boost how you're feeling. You're going to be motivated to do something else, and you're going to feel accomplished, i.e., your cup being refilled. Let me know, are you getting any value from today's episode? I would love to hear about it in the comment section. And it's important for us to take care of our temple, take care of our minds and our bodies so that we can do the big tasks through Christ that we're called to do. And even if you're not able to do all of the things that I'm talking about in today's episode, I still want for you to focus on maybe one or two and just begin to incorporate them slowly into your life. Because I really want for us all to be full individuals walking around so that when the time comes for us to pour, we have something to pour from and we're not left depleted. The Bible tells us that it is better to give than to receive. So ladies, the next thing that you can do to fill your cup is to give or do for someone else, an act of service. When you do something, an unprompted service for someone else, it makes you feel so good about yourself. And of course, it blesses the receiver of your act of service, right? It blesses other people. So what I want for you to do, especially when you're feeling so tired, when you're feeling so burned out, when you're feeling as though you have nothing else to give, ladies, that's when we should be giving. That's when we should do for someone else. Just last week, I stopped to get gas on my way to work, and there was a minimum card amount you had to use. And so I was, I'd already pumped my gas and I went in to get a cup of coffee and I just didn't want to buy anything else. And so the lady said, oh, you have to spend a minimum of like $4 before you can, use your card. And I was like, oh man, now I'm going to be forced to buy something unhealthy, right? Because these little gas stations don't really have healthy food. And then Holy Spirit was like, or you could just pay for a cup of coffee for the man behind you. And I was like, oh yeah, I could do that. And I could also save myself the unnecessary calories, right? So he's behind me and I look at the cashier and I say, well, how much would his cup of coffee cost? And she said, oh, well, if you put the two together, that's gonna bring you up to over $4. So you wanna do that? I said, absolutely. And so I paid for his cup of coffee and he was like, oh, wow, thank you. And I said, you know what? God bless you, have a great day. He's like, well, God bless you. And in that moment, I was reminded of how good it feels just to do a random act of service for someone else. You're not getting anything in return. It's just you blessing someone and of course, giving the glory to God. And remember, you're doing this when you're feeling depleted, when you're feeling just so tired. Ladies, trust me, these actions are going to help boost your mood and boost your energy level. And it might not be a financial blessing. Maybe you're not able to do that, but you can do an act of service because you are giving. And the Bible tells us it is better to give than to receive. For over 20 years, I've been a professional, inspirational, and motivational speaker. And I've shared lots of really helpful ways, practical ways that we can achieve our goals and we can improve our lives and the lives of those around us. But everything really comes down to making a lifestyle shift. And it comes down to making a decision. So another way that you can fill your cup is by making one decision, one healthy decision, one impactful decision, a small decision that you can make and begin to incorporate in your life today that you can do consistently that's going to have a big payoff. Whether it's going to be more discipline for you, whether it's going to mean more money in your bank account, whether it's going to be weight loss, whether it's going to be a better relationship with your spouse or your children, there is something that you can do, one action that you can take today that you can continue to do that's going to have a big impact over time. People tend to underestimate the impact of small steps. The Bible tells us, don't look down on small or humble beginnings. Very often we get really starstruck and awestruck by the big monumental events and the big steps and the big goals accomplished. But ladies, all of those big accomplishments all start from one little step. And the little step becomes 2, and the 2 becomes 4, the 4 becomes 8. And that is how we get to the big and the big finish. So what I'd like for you to do is think about what one thing you can do. Maybe it's drinking more water. Maybe you don't like to drink water, you know you should, but you don't. Maybe that is your one step that you can incorporate. Maybe you don't have, time to set aside for personal time. Maybe you don't have interest in reading a personal development book. Maybe you aren't in the space where you can donate time and money to help others with an act of service. But lady, there is something you can do. Maybe you can drink more water and you know you need to do it, but you've been putting it off. And that little knowledge of you not doing what you're supposed to do, it's nagging at you, it's pulling from you, it's emptying your cup. It's building up guilt reserves in your life for you to beat yourself up about. Stop that. Maybe it's making your bed. And maybe the first week you forget and you only do it 3 days out of the 7 days. That's okay. Progress over perfection. There's something that you know in the back of your mind and it's nagging. and it's just sitting there, just reminding you that you're not measuring up, you're not doing what you need to do. And lady, it's something you could do, you just haven't made the decision to do it. Or maybe you start and then you stop, you start and you stop. It happens to the best of us. First of all, stop beating yourself up. You are human. You are allowed to make mistakes. However, you don't sit in your mistake. You don't continue on your mistake, because then it becomes a way of life. It's not a mistake. It's what you do. But guess what? You can easily shift that, because what we know to be true is if you do one thing consistently for 30 days, it becomes a habit. Alrighty, lady, that is it for this Monday episode of Grown Lady Chat. Remember, new episodes come out every Monday and Thursday, so make sure you're subscribed with your bell notifications. Until next time, remember, I am Dr. Sharonda Simone, and I will either see you at the top or from the top. You decide. Bye.